taking care of business every day. Taking care of business every way. I've been taking care of business. It's all mine. Taking care of business and working overtime. What else?
We are back. I'm your host, Barry Waxler, here with the always lovely and talented Andrea Kay, who's over there snapping pictures as we speak. So check our Facebook on that one, right?
And our Twitter feed, baby.
Twitter feed, okay.
You're welcome, by the way, to those out there who are going to be seeing it later.
Barry, the room is filled with ladies if you haven't taken notice.
Okay. So, well.
Blushing.
Yes, of course. That's my job. So, and I do it well. Let's welcome with us our Women in Business segment. Welcome, Alexandra German.
Hi, everyone. I would like to welcome my guest today. She is an inspiration to me. She's
so inspirational. She's got an Alex verklempt.
No, she's only 25 years old, and she has already been Miss Alaska.
Wow.
And she used to be a professional competitor in bodybuilding, correct? And she is the owner and CEO and the president of Sexyfit.com. Welcome, Zlata Sushchik.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. She did lose it for a second.
I know, right?
So inspired. Oh my God.
That never happens with Alex.
So why do I think I have about 3 words to put into this interview?
Well, we may let you have 5.
Well, thank you. So, well, tell us a little bit about Sexyfit. What is it that you do, and what makes you different?
What makes us different? I love it. We are an online nutrition and fitness coaching company for women, and we help women get in the best shape of their life and overcome obstacles by using fitness as a main resource.
Okay, fitness, and you have a heavy focus on nutrition as well, do you not?
Absolutely. It's 100% nutrition and 100% fitness.
Wait a second. I thought people said it was 80% what you eat. Now you tell me I got to go 100, what I eat and working out.
Keep 100.
You know, Andrea, I just got to throw this point in. You know,
what?
I remember when I went to, I remember Fresh Healthy Vending. And
I do.
Okay, and I went to their facility, and I did I sat down with them, and they immediately told me the story of how they have fresh, healthy snacks, and when a specific company came in to do an enrollment with them,
right,
they brought pizza in with them, okay? Now we have Sexyfit, and Andrea made sure she put her little sugar-covered
well, yeah, but you know what? I thought maybe Zlata might have the philosophy that you can work some little bit of naughty food into your lifestyle.
Actually,
What's your thought on that?
That is absolutely my thought. I believe you have to live a life, but yet nobody wants to eat muffins around me, but I actually would have one. I don't live by restriction. I believe that a lot of the issues that we have today are actually a result of saying no to yourself so many times, and we have demonized food over time. Like, this is clean, this is dirty, this is good, this is bad. But in reality, it's just food. We just need to know how to work that into our daily life so it actually fits the regimen.
So then how do you come up with a nutrition plan that allows people an opportunity to really get in shape and overcome those obstacles you talk about and still eat naughty? How do you do that?
Well, a lot of fitness and nutrition, how we look, is actually math. As much as I love math.
You do? Okay.
Now you're talking to the numbers guy.
I know, right? She's beautiful and she does math.
I got the guys on point. They're like, oh, it's numbers. I got this. Well, yes, it actually really is. It's not one food that necessarily makes you, I'm going to say it, fat. There's not one food that does that.
Okay.
Because it's calories in. So it's your energy in, that's your nutrition, and your energy out. What's your fitness and your lifestyle?
Okay.
Our immediate thing when we're like, oh, I'm going to get in shape, I'm going to be like in the best shape of my life, what do? We drastically cut everything we love and everything we're used to. We're getting in a mindset of deprivation.
Right.
And when we start exercising, what do? We go 5-6 days a week and we go all out. And our body does not understand that approach. It's very drastic calorie cut. It's increased activity, and it causes such an imbalance.
Right.
But in reality, if we were just to eat more and exercise less, or at least, 3 times a week tops, 3-4 times a week is so enough.
Really?
Yeah. And you don't have to be there for 2 hours. I mean, that's what gets us in trouble in the first place. We just go all in and we're like, oh my God, I'm gonna do this thing. And it's like, go big or go home. But in reality, biggest problem is we don't eat enough.
So then, see, that's so counterintuitive.
Absolutely. It is absolutely working against everything that we know as a core foundation of like a quote unquote healthy lifestyle. But that's what's made us different and successful. So I hope that answers your first question.
Well, it does, but it leads me to another where, when I turn around and I look at you and I see somebody who's young and healthy and has learned how to do this at a very young age, okay, then I look at me and, well, I'm healthy, but probably not quite as young. And, what's the difference between how you would coach or counsel somebody at your age versus at my age?
Well, thank you for noting the healthy piece of it, and I believe that was a little bit of a compliment. Thank you so much. It wasn't always this way for me, actually. So I come from a background of being a fitness competitor, so hugely into bodybuilding competitions, 3 hours, 4 hours a day at the gym, eating very little to maximize my physique. Essentially what happens is you get into adrenal fatigue and a lot of hormonal issues, and as a result of that, I actually gained 30 pounds.
Wow.
Right. So, and when you start to get into the hormonal side of things, you really start to understand fitness and nutrition, and it's not black and white, good and bad. More is better. More is not always better. So how I would coach someone would be on more of a scientific approach to things. Like I run a lot of food allergy tests with my clients. I would like to see what can possibly be causing an issue right now. We also, sometimes I suggest hormonal tests when I realize that some things are not progressing. And also everything is individual. It's not the same for everyone. Your diet is not going to be a diet for you. You are fundamentally two different individuals and your bodies are not going to do the same thing. So it's very important to calculate what regimen is right for you and what kind of nutrition is right for you given your activity level, your height, your age, your weight, sensitivities, and things like that. So Alex asked me earlier and she said, hey, should we just go in and work out and do high intensity interval training? And that's fundamentally not the right way to do things. You do have to build up your stamina, and it will be different for an athlete my level, or somebody like
or she looks at me. Nobody looks at me and thinks, there's an athlete. I'm skinny, but I'm not an athlete.
Well, something I found out is until you understand yourself, you really can't get purely fit and healthy. And that's where sports or any athletic event where you could test yourself, especially if you get to the level of world class. That's when you fully understand your body so much more. Until you've pushed your body to that level that it's going to break, either through your tiredness, they say the wall in marathon when you hit that, or you do something, and then you could really build your body up. It's wonderful when that happens, surprisingly.
Yeah.
Zlata, is it different for men and women how they approach training and nutrition?
Absolutely. Men have this wonderful thing that makes them great at things. It's called testosterone, which we unfortunately don't have. So yeah, it fundamentally is going to be a little different.
Okay, and then you talked a lot about adrenal fatigue. Is it purely women's thing? And how does anyone know that they have it?
Okay, that's a really great question. So it's not just a female thing, not at all. We are all surrounded by a great deal of stress. So for those who don't know, adrenal fatigue is something that is caused by elevated cortisol in your system, which means you're under chronic stress. And what your body typically is going to do in a period of chronic stress, you're going to start to feel more tired. You're going to start to feel like you can't do things as well as you used to doing them. So the best way to describe adrenal fatigue is like you start to not care about things you really cared about. You know what I mean? And you're really feeling down. So it's something that we all deal with to a degree, but it's it's very dominant in, I notice my females who are highly driven because we're missing that little testosterone piece that men have. So
it's almost as though maybe your body it starts to display it in the form of like maybe even like a little depression or lack of motivation.
It feels like lack of motivation, feels like depression, but in reality, it's more than a mental thing. You really start to notice it when you cannot push the envelope anymore, and it's especially strange for successful women because we're like, oh, I can do it, I got this,
right.
And then there's a certain point where you start dropping the balls, and then you walk around and you're like, I don't got this anymore. I don't even know what to do.
So what do you do? Do you have how do we test for it, and what are the first steps to just cure that?
Oh, to cure adrenal fatigue? Okay. The first very simple step is to go see your hormonal doctor and do a hormonal palette. It's going to tell you everything that you need to know about that. Second step is you need to get your nutrition under control because there are certain things that do trigger adrenal fatigue. And typically elevated cortisol is going to cause you to crave a lot of sugar. So that's where it's commonly mistaken for emotional eating in women. They're like, oh, well, I just have emotional eating. Not really. That may not necessarily be it. So nutrition is going to be first step, just so you have sufficient amount of energy and you don't skip meals all day and you don't come home and devour your whole pantry. I'm sure that's happened to some of us. Guilty as charged.
Yeah.
So that's the first step, absolutely. And then the second step is just not to go all in and take small steps. Do some squats in your office, right. Walk around 5,000 steps a day. It doesn't necessarily mean like straight up gym regiment and just go all crazy. It's easy does it.
Yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit about sexyfit.com, like the website and what all services and everything you're wanting to provide for people there.
So what we do is mostly online and nutrition and fitness coaching, and we do it in two different capacities right now. A free resource for people is our blog. We've written over 100,000 words on nutrition and fitness. And it's everything from which chicken should you buy to how you should read labels to how you can get results faster and safer.
Okay.
So that's really a big step. So a lot of things that we write are not just like, 200 words and there you go, but actually a well-researched material.
Real content. I love real content. So that's what I require of all the writers that come onto the platform, and I write myself frequently too. So, but as far as services that we provide, we run either group coaching or one-on-one coaching, and every program that we teach has personalized nutrition, meaning that we do calculate the numbers for you, and we do show you how to navigate around the numbers. So all the nutritional breakdown is provided, recipes. We also do custom fitness plans. And the beautiful thing between the two is that your nutrition works in perfect balance with your fitness. So it's not a drastic cut or a drastic approach to the situation. It's actually yours and personalized. Since you do groups, I would imagine it'd be something corporations, could incorporate into their health and wellness programs and really see a benefit that would affect the bottom line in terms of their insurance costs and stuff. You're the business genius, Boss Daddy, but I'm sure your wheels are turning.
Of course, I'm thinking of a couple people to connect you up with, and like Spark Health. They do
Dr. C. Talk about the hormone test.
Yep, do all that there, and take you down to places like the Bay Club in Carmel Valley, and they would love to bring a program like yours in. So
absolutely. Yeah, we're definitely in a growth process, so it's very exciting to see what's coming next.
Michelle, what about those that have medical conditions? You comfortable in handling them, whether it be diabetes or multiple sclerosis?
Not to that capacity yet. Okay. A lot of women that we deal with, they're probably struggling with trying to get 30 to 50 pounds off, a little bit of hormonal issues, a little bit of time management things going on. So, but we haven't gotten into that particular avenue yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that would definitely be a direct connection. You need to get your physician involved in that.
Right. Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
So. Great. Well, we're starting to run short on time. Tell our listeners more about how they find out more about you.
You can find us on sexyfit.com, and definitely visit the blog and definitely read a few things that are on there. I think you will find them greatly helpful to help you get lean, get results, and feel confident in your body.
Great. Well, I would love if you would work with us to continue the story in future weeks. Come down, visit your facility, and let's talk more and see how much more we can help people out with the fitness and nutrition together.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
Great. Thanks for being here. This is Close Up on San Diego Business here on KCBQ, streaming live at AM1170theanswer.com. Send us a tweet at CloseUpSD, or just find our page on Facebook. You can always email me at Barry@CloseUpSanDiego.com. Let me know what you think. I'm your host, Barry Waxler. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.